All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So this one is all about productivity.
The big P.
It is the big P, and I think this is something that everybody struggles with,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
especially in our modern world where we're constantly bombarded with,
Distractions.
yeah, emails, Slack messages, people wanting our attention all the time.
Yeah, it's like this constant state of busyness that we're in, right?
And I think this source that somebody sent us really nails it.
Yeah, I like this one.
It says that don't confuse activity with productivity. The difference is the same as between speed and velocity.
Ooh, that's good.
It is good, right?
I like that analogy a lot because it really gets at something
It really goes.
that I think a lot of people miss.
So speed and velocity, it's like back to high school physics class.
Oh, been a while.
What's the difference?
I mean, I think, everyone remembers speed is just how fast something is moving, right?
Like miles per hour.
Exactly. Miles per hour, kilometers per hour, whatever your unit of choice is.
Exactly. But velocity adds in that extra layer.
Yeah, velocity is like speed with a purpose.
It's direction.
It's speed plus direction.
Yeah, so like you can be moving really fast.
You could be running in circles,
Exactly.
right? You'd have a lot of speed, but you wouldn't actually be getting anywhere.
And that's kind of how I feel sometimes with work.
Oh, totally.
Like I'm checking things off my to-do list.
You're cranking.
I'm just going and going and going, but I'm not really making any progress on what matters.
And I think that's where this idea of direction really comes into play with productivity, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's like, okay, you can be busy, you can be doing a lot of things, but if you don't know where you're going,
What's the point?
yeah, you're just going to end up spinning your wheels and feeling exhausted at the end of the day.
And feeling like you didn't get anything done.
Yeah, totally. And I think a lot of people get caught up in that.
So how do we get out of that trap?
Well, I think it starts with, like the quote says, really understanding the difference between activity and productivity.
Okay, how do we do that?
So for me, like when I think about it, it's about figuring out what your goals are.
So it's like, what's the direction?
Yeah, what's your direction? What are you actually trying to achieve? And once you know that, then you can start to evaluate your activity.
And make sure that they're actually moving you in the right direction.
Exactly. Like, are the things that you're doing every day actually contributing to your goals, or are they just keeping you busy?
Right, it's like that squirrel running up and down the tree.
Exactly. Lots of activity, but is it actually getting the squirrel closer to where it needs to be?
Okay, so I definitely relate to this because there was a time I was reading this project and I was just constantly going,
Emails, meetings, the whole 9 yards.
the whole 9 yards. I was working late, but the project was barely moving forward.
Oh, I've been there.
And I realized it was because I hadn't really defined what success looked like for the project.
You didn't have that clear direction.
Exactly. So I was just doing a bunch of stuff, but it wasn't the right stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's such a common experience, right? We get so caught up in the doing that we forget to step back and ask ourselves, why am I doing this?
Right. Is this actually moving me towards my goals?
Exactly. And I think this is where something like the Eisenhower Matrix can be really helpful.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Tell me more about that.
So the Eisenhower Matrix basically helps you prioritize your tasks by urgency and importance so you can focus on the stuff that's really going to make a difference.
Okay, so it's like figuring out what's actually important and then making sure that those things are the ones that get done.
Exactly, because not everything that's urgent is important, right?
Right. Like my inbox is full of urgent emails.
But are they all important?
Probably not.
Yeah, so it's about learning to distinguish between those two and really focusing on the things that are going to move the needle on your goals.
I like that, moving the needle.
Yeah, it's a good visual, right? Like
Yeah.
you want to see that progress.
You want to see those results.
It's-
So to kind of wrap things up here, I think what we're really getting at is that it's not enough to just be busy.
Totally.
We need to be strategic about how we spend our time and energy.
Yeah, and that starts with defining your goals, figuring out what's truly important to you, and then making sure that your actions are aligned with those goals.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much you do, it's about what you accomplish.
Well said.
So for everyone listening, I think a good question to ask yourself is, what's one thing you can do today to shift from mere activity to true productivity?
I love, yeah, what's one small step you can take today to get closer to where you want to be?
Because even small steps
Yeah.
in the right direction can lead to big results.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's our deep dive for today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, and we'll see you all next time.
See you later.